In today's video, we're downsizing a classic pumpkin dessert. I'm gonna give you a hint. It's smooth, it's creamy, and even has a nice crust. If you guessed pumpkin pie bars, you're right. So let's get into it. Hello, mi gente, and welcome back to Nata Knows Best. I'm your host, Nata, and in today's episode, we are making some smooth and creamy pumpkin pie bars. The holiday season is approaching, and I wanted to challenge myself and make a classic pumpkin dessert, but in a personal size. And let me tell you that these are so good. They have a cinnamon crust that you can add some nuts to it if you want some extra texture. But then that smooth and creamy center of the pumpkin is gonna be so good. So I'm gonna jump right in. First thing I'm going to do is create our crust. So the ingredients you're gonna need for your crust are some graham crackers. Now, these are graham crackers that I crushed up, and they're actually the cinnamon kind. I thought that would be a really good note to add to these pumpkin pie bars. In addition, I'm going to add some sugar, and I'm also going to add some unsalted melted butter. And using a small spatula, I am just going to combine all of this together until we get a wet, smooth consistency. If you guys are looking for the measurements or ingredients to this recipe, I will be linking it down below, so go check that out. All right, so I got to the perfect consistency, and now I'm going to add it to our baking dish. This is a 9x13 that I added some parchment paper to, because since we're gonna be making those pumpkin pie bars, you wanna be able to easily remove them from the baking dish without messing up your crust. So it's easier if you put the parchment paper. So again, just using my spatula, I'm going to press down our crust. Just keep pressing until you get a smooth, even layer. And now I'm just going to place our crust in the oven and bake it just for 8 minutes, and it gets nice and set, and then we'll add our filling. Meanwhile, let's get started on our pumpkin pie filling. So of course, we have to add in a whole can of pumpkin puree, because pumpkin pie isn't pumpkin pie without pumpkin puree. But make sure not to mix this up with pumpkin pie filling. And to this, I'm going to add some brown sugar. You could choose whether you like light brown sugar or dark brown sugar. Both of them would work. And then I'm also going to add 2 eggs. Using a hand mixer, I'm just going to whisk these ingredients. Now that our mixture is nice and smooth, I'm going to then add some sour cream. This is gonna give our pumpkin pie bars some richness and that iconic creaminess that I was telling you guys about. And then we're going to add our seasoning. So I have a pinch of salt. I also have some pumpkin pie spice, and in addition to the pumpkin pie spice, I decided to add an extra teaspoon of cinnamon to really pack that earthy flavor that I love. Okay, and then as a thickener, I'm actually going to be using some cornstarch. So this is gonna give it a little more body, but still maintaining that creaminess. Let's finish it off. If you really want to amp up the flavor of your pumpkin pie filling, you could definitely add some of these cool little tricks. You could add some cayenne pepper, literally like just a pinch. You could also add your vanilla extract, which is a go-to. But in this case, all I did was add that pinch of the cayenne pepper because I think it'll be a cool little kick. And in the meantime, while we were making our filling, our crust was finally done. So I just took it out of the oven. It's still nice and warm. So I'm going to add our filling over the top. Now go ahead and smooth it out. This is slightly thinner than what you would anticipate, but not to worry. This is gonna bake and set perfectly. Oh, this is looking so good, and I can honestly smell all the spices already, so I'm very excited. Okay, so now that I have a nice smooth topping, I'm just going to add our pumpkin pie bars in the oven for 45 minutes. All right, mi gente, so my pumpkin pie bars are done baking. I'm now gonna put them inside of the fridge and allow them to cool for roughly 1 to 2 hours. So it's been a few hours and our pumpkin pie bars are finally ready to cut. So here I have a sharp knife, and I'm just gonna slice these down. If you guys, so velvety and smooth. All right, it is time for our official taste test. Look at this pumpkin pie bar. Literally, it has the perfect amount of crust that's literally falling apart already. So I'm gonna get right in. That crust is phenomenal. Oh my God. And the filling is smooth and silky. I cut through those bars like butter. I know you saw that. It was like butter. I know you guys are gonna be obsessed with these. So make sure you give me a huge thumbs up. Comment down below, tell me, not that I'm making these for Thanksgiving. Feel free to send me pictures if you do make them. I'll be linking this recipe down below. It'll also be on my website, which is of course, nataknowsbest.com. And I will also be posting this recipe on my playlist, which is Nata Knows Desserts. This is a playlist that's filled with all of my favorite desserts, especially my favorite holiday desserts. So go ahead and check that playlist out. Stay tuned for next week for another delicious recipe. And as always, mi gente, thank you so much for watching. Nata Knows Best.